Hey guys, Sasha from Mobile Geeks here, and this is the HTC Butterfly, or in the US I think it was called the Droid DNA. That's a 5-inch device with a 1080p display, and it came out in early 2013, so the beginning of this year. It was based on a Qualcomm S4 Pro processor. It's a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core, and I have one, not this fancy red version here, but a black one. And actually, I really love this phone because especially the display is absolutely amazing. Let me just show you a little bit. Maybe we have some gallery pictures here. Here we go. Let's check this out. If they have some default ones. Well, obviously not. Well, just trust me. 1080p on 5-inch, absolutely amazing. It was a nice phone. It was very slim, thin, light. I think it's 140 grams only. The biggest problem was it had a 2000 milliampere hour battery. That means for a hardcore user like me, which was constantly checking like 5 email accounts on Twitter, on Google+, on Facebook, whatever, I killed this battery in like no time, right? But you know what? There is a new kid on the block, and that's a successor of the HTC Butterfly, which is the HTC Butterfly S. Here we go. It almost looks the same, but trust me, it's a little bit different, and that's basically because of the new huge battery. This one comes with a 3200 milliampere hour battery, so this should be easily capable of getting you through the whole day, especially someone like me who only uses phablets. Well, I'm still on the Galaxy Note 2 because of this. I think it's like a 3100 milliampere hour battery in there. But let's talk a little bit about the HTC Butterfly S, and we're going to compare it to the ordinary Butterfly a little bit later. Let's first of all, let me just tell you, yes, this is definitely heavier. I think it's like 170 grams right now, or 160 grams, sorry about that. Still, it's only 10.6 millimeters thin. Right now we're talking about like devices with 6.18 millimeters, like the Huawei S10P6. But trust me, this one feels really good in the palm of your hand because of this curve. If you've ever tried out the HTC One, you're familiar with this. Just to give you an idea, here's the HTC One. Look at this, right? So it doesn't feel thick at all. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It just feels good, right? I have to give HTC this right away. At the moment, they're really pumping out proper smartphones. Let's talk a little bit about the display. Still, this is a 1080p display on 5-inch. So it's a Super LCD 3 display, and it also comes with a Corning Gorilla Glass 3. So I can't do the scratch test with this one because that's actually a device I didn't buy. HTC got over here, dropped some, so by the way, also the ordinary HTC Butterfly, and so I can play around with it a little bit. So no scratch test at all, sorry about that. So in terms of the SoC, we have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 600, but the overclocked version that we've also seen, for example, here on the Samsung Galaxy S4. So this is running at 1.9 gigahertz, still a quad-core processor. What else? We have 2 gigabytes of RAM. There's 16 gigabyte of internal storage, and then there's an expansion card slot, so you can just upgrade it with up to 64 gigabyte micro SD card. I told you already the battery is 3200 milliampere hours. Let's take a quick look around the device itself. So on the back, first of all, of course, we have a camera. Yay! So this is an ultra pixel camera. That's the camera that we already know from the HTC One. This is running at 4 megapixels, but it has a pretty proper sensor. So each and every pixel is getting a little bit more light. So especially in a low light environment, this camera is kick-ass, trust me. On the front, yeah, we have a kind of traditional 2.1 megapixel camera. Here on the bottom we have the microphone and the micro USB. And on the left side there is nothing. On the right side we have the volume rocker, and that's about it. While on the top we have the power button, a jack for your headset, and over here you have just the slots for your micro SD card and your SIM card. Here we go. And you know what? In terms of the technical specification, that's pretty much it, right? This is an HSPA UMTS or 3G version. I'm not sure if HTC will release an LTE or 4G version. Might be possible, especially for the US. Besides that, it also comes with NFC, of course, accelerometers, gyro sensors, proximity sensors. There's an ambient light sensor integrated. It has an infrared remote control as the HTC One, which is kind of cool, right? When you're sitting on your couch and you want to control all the different devices and you don't have to reach out for like half a dozen different remote controls. So you can just kind of get all the codes for the different remote controls into your HTC Butterfly S. And in terms of the sound, I told you already NFC, right? Okay, anyways, NFC, it's in there, of course. In terms of the sound, it also has a sound enhancement called Boom Sound. As you can see here on the back, well, it says Beats Audio right now. It doesn't really have the boom sound as the HTC One with the speakers on the front, but still, in terms of the sound, it's a pretty proper quality, and we're going to show you everything about this in our detailed review. Let me show you a little bit about the differences of this device compared to its competitors. Well, once again, let's get the original HTC Butterfly in here, which almost looks the same. I told you already, well, it's a little bit different here on the bottom. Can you see that? When we're turning them around, still pretty much looks the same. The original Butterfly is not so curvy, as you can see. Of course, it's also a little bit thinner, right? And let me just stack them up so you can see that. Well, you see almost no difference, I tell you that, but you can tell it when you're just holding them in your hand. I think the Butterfly S feels even better in your hand because this is more like flat on the back, while this is really very curvy and just fits perfectly. 160 grams, this one was 140 grams. That's definitely a difference. And of course, in terms of the performance, you should expect a performance gain between the S4 Pro and the 600. I would give it some good like 25 to 30%, especially with this overclocked version. Let's quickly compare this also to the Samsung Galaxy S4. Here we go. Again, this is also a 5-inch device, right? Let's switch them both on. Here we go. Okay, I don't want to do the story album. Let's just go to the home screen. Both of them sporting 5-inch displays with 1080p resolution. We have a Super LCD 3 here on this side and a Super AMOLED HD display on the Samsung Galaxy S4, which in general feels a lot smaller. It's also thinner, but keep in mind, in terms of the battery life, right, that's a 2600 battery on the Samsung Galaxy S4. By the way, I have the Exynos 5 version, that's the quad-core device, and do you want me to be very honest with you? Yes, you won't. I'm not happy with it at all. Battery life sucks. It's getting hot, and yeah, I just don't really like it so much. This is almost 9.88 watt-hour battery, while on the so that's a 2600 milliampere hour battery in here, while on the HTC Butterfly S was 3200 by 3.8. That's like 13 or 14 watt hours, isn't it? Well, just call me out, and I can blame it on my math teacher. I'm just not prepared here with a calculator. Sorry about that. Yeah, in general, it's also lighter, and of course, it's also a lot thinner, as you can see. Right. What else do we have here? The HTC One, I told you already, because I mean this is quite interesting because we have pretty much the HTC One specs besides the overclocked SoC here in the HTC Butterfly. But this is a 4.7-inch display. Of course, it comes in a full aluminum body. Beautiful device, especially when it's clean. I'm not sure where this was lying around. Sorry about that. Beautiful device, and what I love about it, these front-facing speakers. This is really cool. And again, a huge difference is, of course, well, it's not a difference because both of them are using, well, Nicole already played around with her launcher a little bit. Both of them are using HTC Sense 5.0, while on this device, this looks to me like Nicole just set up the Nova launcher. Here we go. Sorry about that, but just trust me, they're sharing the same HTC Sense 5 launcher, so you're also getting this blink feed and everything, but this is already a little bit optimized for our needs. Once again, it's smaller, it's thinner, but also in terms of the battery, right, that's a huge difference between the Butterfly and the Butterfly S, sorry, and the HTC One. Last but not least, shall I still show you the Nexus 4? Of course. You can see, once again, the Butterfly is pretty big, but it's not a phablet, and I think we need to make this crystal clear. Let me just show you what a phablet is. Here we go. So here's my Galaxy Note 2, 5.5-inch device with a huge battery. Once again, 3100 milliampere hour battery, or was it 3140? As you could tell, I'm perfectly prepared again. 3100. So 100 milliampere more battery capacity in the Butterfly, and definitely with a 5-inch display, something that should run maybe for some 10 hours with me. We'll see. I'm definitely going to test it in the next couple of days when I'm taking it with me to New York for the Nokia launch. So, once again, this is first of all a very, very quick and dirty first look at the HTC Butterfly. You know what we should do? What about viewing angles of the display? That's not too bad. That's definitely not too bad. Of course, I'm doing benchmarks with it. I'm gonna do detailed software reviews. I'm gonna tell you about the battery life. If you have any questions about the HTC Butterfly, just leave me a comment down here. What do you want to see in the detailed review? Because this is obviously just a walkthrough, just to give you an idea how the new Butterfly S looks like and how it feels. I think it's a gorgeous device. Let me know what you want to see. I'm Sasha from Mobile Geeks. Thanks for watching.